Okay, so let's dive right into the world of perfume. We're going to solve one of the biggest mysteries out there. How do you find a signature scent that not only smells absolutely incredible, but actually lasts all day long? Let's get started. You know that specific kind of heartbreak, right? You spritz on a fragrance you completely adore in the morning, feeling great, and then poof. By lunchtime, it's completely vanished. Well, in this explainer, we're going to make sure that never ever happens to you again. And you know what's so fascinating is that almost half of us buy fragrance not because we need it, but just as a personal treat. It's totally an emotional purchase. So yeah, when that special little treat just disappears in a few hours, the disappointment is very, very real. So, to make sure you find a scent that sticks around and that you'll absolutely love, we're going to walk through this journey together. We'll cover everything from the secret language in the bottle to the cult classics that the experts just swear by. Okay, first things first, we've got to learn the language of perfume. Seriously, understanding these fundamentals is the key. It's going to turn you into a confident fragrance connoisseur and help you find a scent that really truly performs. You know, every great perfume tells a story on your skin, and it unfolds in three distinct parts. I like to think of it kind of like a song. First, you get those bright, fleeting top notes. That's the intro. Then the main melody comes through with the heart notes. That's the real character. And finally, the deep bass notes provide that harmony that just lingers long after the song is over. And right here, this chart brilliantly illustrates the number one reason some perfumes last longer than others. It's not magic, it's just math. The higher the concentration of that fragrance oil, the longer it's going to last on your skin. So if you want real endurance, you should be looking for an eau de parfum. Or if you want maximum power, an extrait de parfum. But you know, a high oil concentration is really only half the story. The type of ingredients they used is just as important. A fragrance's longevity, well, it's also about chemistry. So let's get into the science of what really makes a scent stick around. And hey, if you're obsessed with finding a scent that lasts, you are definitely not alone. A huge majority of us, we're talking almost 80%, say that longevity is one of the most important things they look for when buying a perfume. The demand is clearly there. So let's talk about that second factor, molecular weight. I want you to imagine throwing a handful of confetti and a handful of pebbles into the air. The confetti, those are our light, zesty top notes. They're made of tiny molecules that just scatter and disappear really fast. The pebbles, though, those are our rich base notes. They're made of large, heavy molecules. They stick around, anchoring the fragrance to your skin for hours and hours. And here they are. These are the anchors you should be looking for. When you see these powerhouse base notes in a fragrance description, you can pretty much bet it's built to last. Notes like amber, musk, vanilla, and different woods, those are the foundation of a truly long-wearing scent. All right, now let's get to the really good stuff, the scents that consistently top all the best of lists. These are the fragrances that have earned their legendary status for incredible quality, unique character, and most importantly for us, their endurance. First up, the icon, the legend itself. Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. I mean, this perfume isn't just a scent, it is a whole statement. Editors describe the vibe as unbothered rich woman, and honestly, it's pretty easy to see why. What makes it so incredibly unique is this airy blend of jasmine and saffron that's balanced against this deep, resinous cedar wood. It creates a scent that's somehow both sweet and woody at the same time, and it famously lasts for days on your clothes. It is a true power player. Next up, we have a fragrance that actually took the top spot in a test of 67 different perfumes. That's Parfum de Marly's Delina. If Baccarat Rouge is the power player, Delina is the alluring, completely undeniable charmer. This one is just a masterpiece. It combines these tart, fruity notes of rhubarb and lychee with a heart of beautiful Turkish rose. But the thing that makes it last is that comforting, creamy base of vanilla and musk that just melts right into your skin. Okay, now for those of you who want a fragrance that truly announces your arrival and then lingers long after you've left the room, there's Frederic Malle's Portrait of a Lady. And let me tell you, this is not a shy, retiring floral. No, this is a symphonic rose. It's grounded by this enormous dose of patchouli, incense, and sandalwood. That powerful base is exactly why it has what experts call boss energy and a lifespan that can easily push past 12 hours. It's an absolute beast of a performer. So we've seen the icons, but how do you actually navigate the thousands of options out there to find the one that feels like, well, like you? Let's talk strategy. A really great strategy is to think seasonally. Cold air can actually dull a scent. So in the winter, rich, opulent notes like woods and resins, and even those sweet dessert-like notes really come alive. But in the summer heat, those same scents can get a little overpowering, which is when the lighter, airy fragrances truly shine. But here it is. This is maybe the single most important piece of advice from the experts. Never, ever judge a perfume just from that little paper test strip. As the perfumer Kirschentale explains, a scent's true character only reveals itself on your skin over several hours. Always try to get a sample before you commit to a full bottle. Okay, so now you know how to find a scent you love. Let's talk about shopping smart, because getting a long-lasting fragrance that you adore doesn't always have to break the bank. All right, here's a fantastic tip for shopping smart. If you happen to fall for an iconic and, let's be real, expensive scent, do a little research for affordable alternatives, or dupes. Brands like Dossier actually specialize in creating fragrances inspired by those luxury bestsellers. Their Ambery Saffron, for example, really captures the essence of Baccarat Rouge 540, but for a fraction of the price. It just proves you can find that luxury feel without that luxury price tag. Ultimately, it's really important to remember this. The most beautiful and long-lasting fragrances are the ones that evolve with you throughout the day. They aren't static, they're dynamic stories that are unfolding right on your skin. So, the next time you're searching for a scent, you'll have the knowledge to look way beyond that first spritz. You can decode the notes, understand the science behind it, and shop smarter to find a fragrance that won't just smell good for an hour, but will become part of your story.